For coming back. We're now going to hear from Dan Dell, who is running for Norris Public Power District Subdivision 4 for re-election. I'd like to remind everybody that we are being broadcast live on Channel 9, and this is also being videotaped, and it will be shown several times between now and election time on November 6th. Questions asked tonight were submitted to the Beatrice Chamber of Commerce from the community. If anybody in the audience would like to submit a question, please write it down on a piece of paper and give it to one of the assistants who will bring it up front. Dan's going to get 2 minutes to introduce himself, and he's going to get 1 minute for each question we're going to give him. Dan, would you like to start off with your introduction?
Yes, I will. And I am Dan Dell, and I live 8 miles east of Beatrice, and I farm. I am running for the Norris Public Power District Subdivision 4, upon which there are 11 districts in our utility service. My wife, Diana, and I have been married for 33 years, have 3 grown children together, and I would like to thank my wife for helping with my campaign flyers. She's very creative. She has a scrapbook store downtown, does very well. She's very successful, and like they say, behind every successful man, there's a good woman, and believe me, she is a good woman. A few points I have here that I'd like to make. Really enjoyed my 12 years with Norris that I've served so far, and what I really feel is I really want to be committed to good service. I think people really like good service, and I just feel that that's almost a top priority next to getting the best rates possible for our people in our district. I feel I'm very accessible and approachable to my customers. I also value teamwork with my fellow board members. I feel that it's really good to have a board you can work with. We've been to several classes. We take several classes on different things like that, and it's a good education. I have served as past president for Norris, vice president, and been on the safety committee. I have attended at least 95% of the meetings the last 6 years, and I have been a leader in the community as I have served on the Beatrice School Board, this is kind of my own stomping grounds, FSA Board, the Township Board, and currently serving on my church council. She said stop, so I quit.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dell. We're going to get right into questions. What do you consider are the most important issues in public power at this time?
Well, like I said, I think good service and your rates. I just feel that our kilowatt is 8 cents, and I think it's a good rate for now. A lot of our rates are tied with Nebraska Public Power. We buy from them, and electricity is just a everyday thing. I mean, you just live with electricity with about everything you do. So,
sure. What do you consider as the most significant long-term goal for public power in the state of Nebraska?
Long-term goal. Much dumping here in the state of Nebraska. I think we Norris Public Power, I think, work really well with other districts, and I think that we have meetings 3 or 4 times a year, and at different areas in the state, and I think it's really good to keep our districts really communicating well, working well together.
Okay. Norris Public Power District has incurred annual rate increases from Nebraska Public Power, their wholesale power supplier, resulting in rate increases to Norris customers. What would you propose as the best approach in dealing with ongoing rate increases?
Well, trying to keep them low. Norris, as Nebraska Public Power has increased their rates, we have not gone normally to as high as they have increased. This year they're talking about 3.75, and we're talking about trying to keep it down to 2%. And so we're always trying to stay underneath them. We're not going to try to keep up with them, I guess I'll say. Anyhow, so.
We'll expand on that question a little bit. Are there any other suppliers that are available that we could look at?
I don't know that Norris has really looked at that. I don't know that we're really interested in doing that at this time.
Okay. Renewable energy is a topic of focus throughout the United States. What is your stance on renewable energy sources? And if you support, how do you foresee overcoming the hurdles that are associated with it?
Well, I think a lot of them are looking at wind and wind turbines. They have their place. A little bit of problem with the wind is it doesn't blow every day. When it was hotter than blazes last summer, why they were sitting still. And so it's a little hard for them to put out the energy. Nebraska's problem is we don't have the grants like Iowa does, and so it's a little hard for us to pursue that, the windmill energy. Another thing is if you do, you have to have a way to wheel it to get it to another state, because we seem to have enough right now. And if we start producing more than we can handle, we need power lines to landlines to move that out of the state and sell it to other states. So by 2020, I believe it is, the country is supposed to have 10% already. It's supposed to be 10% green, I guess I'll call it.
Okay. Why do you feel that you are the best candidate to serve on the Norris Public Power District Board of Directors?
I just feel I really have a passion for electricity. I'm the fourth generation to serve on the board. My great-grandfather was one of the original board members, and I just, like I said before, I think it's just in your everyday life, electricity is, and it's just amazing what they're doing with it, along with along with technology. Is they can shut meters off from the office, at different residential places if they don't pay their bills, unfortunately, and nobody likes to do that, including us. And but it's just amazing what you can do with electricity. Like I say, I just really work to strive for cheaper rates and service. Okay. That's what I really work for.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Why don't you give us a 2-minute closing on
that? Like I say, I've really enjoyed my 12 years. It's been a real learning experience. We serve over 3,500 square miles. We have 5,000 miles worth of transmission line. Since I've been on the board, 12 years ago when I started, our revenues were about 30 million. Now they're 66 million. And we don't sit on that money. We make about 6 million, 7 million. We use that to pay down debt, to improve capital, for capital expenses. So it's not like we hoard our money. We make improvements. I think one of the challenge will be to keep our capital inputs going, working on structures. It's an ongoing thing, and I think just making better landlines too, and keeping up with technology in the electrical industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adell. And the Beatrice Chamber of Commerce would like to thank you for coming down and sharing your thoughts with us. We're going to take a break here for a few minutes, and we're going to come back with the Gage County Board of Supervisors, District 2.